Most people didn't see it coming. In the chaotic days that followed Hurricane Melissa's devastating landfall, while the nation reeled and the world looked on in silence, some of Jamaica's most beloved figures quietly took action. They didn't do it for the spotlight or social media clout. They did it because of love, love for home, love for people, love for Jamaica. From Usain Bolt trudging through muddy roads to hand out food, to Vibes Cartel's foundation mobilizing trucks of supplies, and even Hollywood's Tyrese flying in to lend a helping hand, a rare story unfolded. One where fame took a back seat to humanity. This is how music, sports, and compassion came together when Jamaica needed it most. Before we dive into it, remember to subscribe and stay connected as we share more untold stories that celebrate courage, community, and resilience across the Caribbean. It was early November 2025 when Hurricane Melissa struck Jamaica, and the island faced one of its darkest moments in decades. The storm roared ashore as a Category 5 beast, tearing through homes, farmlands, and schools. St. Elizabeth, Manchester, and Trelawney, the country's agricultural heartlands, were swallowed by floodwaters. Roads turned into rivers, bridges collapsed, and power lines lay twisted on the ground like broken vines. The winds howled for hours, and by dawn, thousands were homeless. Families crowded into emergency shelters. Children clung to their parents, terrified by the storm's rage. But even amid that despair, something remarkable began to stir across the island. While political leaders held press conferences and relief agencies tried to organize responses, the real heartbeat of recovery came from ordinary citizens and from cultural giants who felt a duty to their homeland. This wasn't a government-led response. It was a movement born from empathy and fueled by Jamaica's spirit of community. And leading the charge was a man whose name had become synonymous with speed and pride, the world's fastest man, Usain Bolt. When a storm passed, Bolt didn't stay overseas watching from afar. He came home. Within days, he was in Trelawney, the parish where he grew up, walking through mud-soaked streets wearing simple rubber boots and a determined expression. He stopped by William Knibb High School, his old school, now a makeshift shelter housing dozens of displaced families. Cameras caught him carrying boxes of supplies, talking with residents, and laughing with children who still recognized him through the chaos. "I'm here to help," Bolt told local reporters from the Jamaica Observer. "We are standing together, rebuilding together." His actions weren't symbolic photo ops. They were hands-on relief missions. Through the Usain Bolt Foundation, he funded emergency food drives and distributed hundreds of care packages, filled with canned food, bottled water, toiletries, and hygiene products, to hard-hit areas in Trelawney and St. James. Local volunteers said Bolt's appearance gave people something they hadn't felt since the storm hit: hope. "When Bolt shows up, it's hope showing up," one resident from Falmouth said. "You feel like things are going to be all right because if him come back, that means Jamaica strong still." Bolt's impact went beyond supplies. His presence drew attention from international media, prompting companies like Digicel and Grace Kennedy to speed up their own relief programs. For a brief moment, his fame became a lifeline, a bridge connecting global resources to local needs. But as he continued his work, another familiar name emerged, one whose influence had never faded, even behind prison walls. While still serving his sentence, Adidja, Vibes Cartel, Palmer reminded everyone that leadership isn't limited by location. Through the Adidja Palmer Foundation, he orchestrated one of the largest artist-led relief campaigns in the Western parishes. His team of volunteers worked with community groups in St. James, Westmoreland, and Hanover, areas severely battered by the hurricane's torrential rains and flooding. With the help of World Central Kitchen, an international relief organization founded by Chef Jose Andres, Cartel's foundation distributed food, clothing, medical kits, and cleaning supplies to hundreds of families. Even from behind bars, he recorded a short voice note that quickly went viral across Jamaica. "Me people damn, hold firm. Jamaica strong. We go build back together." That simple message lit a fire in the hearts of many. It wasn't just words. It was reassurance from one of the island's most influential voices that unity was still alive. Videos circulated online showing trucks with the foundation's logo rolling into communities, unloading goods, and bringing smiles to faces that had seen only rain and ruin. The Jamaica Gleaner confirmed that Cartel's initiative was among the largest privately coordinated responses in the early stages of recovery. In a time when many felt forgotten, his foundation reminded people that someone still cared. This unexpected alliance of a man in confinement using his influence to send aid sparked conversations across the country about the power of culture and connection. It proved that music in Jamaica isn't just entertainment. It's an instrument of solidarity. And while Cartel's efforts made waves at home, another wave of compassion was already crossing the ocean toward the island. Across the Atlantic, news of Hurricane Melissa's devastation reached Hollywood. Among those who responded was actor and R&B singer Tyrese Gibson, famous for his roles in the Fast and Furious franchise. When he saw images of collapsed homes and displaced families, he didn't just post a hashtag. He packed a plane, flying in with members of Reach Out Worldwide, a humanitarian organization founded by his late friend Paul Walker. Tyrese landed in Kingston carrying medical kits, tents, and portable water filtration systems. According to reports from IRE FM and Loop Jamaica, the team's mission was simple: reach the areas that government aid hadn't yet touched. Jamaica has always shown me love, Tyrese told journalists at Norman Manley International Airport. Now it's my turn to show love back. He spent 3 days traveling through Clarendon and St. Elizabeth, meeting families in temporary shelters, handing out supplies, and comforting children. Footage shared online showed him lifting boxes beside Jamaican volunteers, laughing with them, and hugging survivors who couldn't believe a Hollywood star had shown up in person. His message was clear: solidarity has no borders. Tyrese's visit created a ripple effect. Within days, other international celebrities began donating to Jamaica's rebuilding efforts. American musicians, Caribbean diaspora groups, and influencers launched crowdfunding campaigns. What started as a private act of compassion became a wave of global support. But back home, something even greater was happening. The unity among Jamaican artists, athletes, and citizens was transforming into a national movement, one that reminded the world what one love truly means. Part 5: Sean Paul, Shaggy, and the Power of the Diaspora. After the efforts of Bolt, Cartel, and Tyrese made headlines, more cultural figures stepped up. Reggae and dancehall icon Sean Paul pledged to match up to $50,000 in donations through Food for the Poor Jamaica, encouraging fans worldwide to contribute. "Every little bit counts," he said in an interview with People magazine. "This is not just about helping after the storm. It's about showing who we are as a people." At the same time, Shaggy, known globally not just for his music but his humanitarian spirit, organized a charter flight from Miami loaded with generators, mattresses, and baby food. His team focused on reaching Black River, Treasure Beach, and rural communities cut off by floods. When asked why he didn't wait for official programs, Shaggy's response was simple: "Me Cyan, sit down and just watch. We halfy move when deep people call." The impact of these gestures rippled across the diaspora. Jamaican churches in London, Toronto, and New York launched fundraising drives. Influencers organized virtual concerts, streaming live performances from Kingston studios, allowing people worldwide to donate in real time. Within 2 weeks, Jamaica's private donation fund had surpassed $6 million, according to the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. This wasn't just charity. It was a global reaffirmation of Jamaican identity, of a people who refused to fold under pressure. Even as the country faced one of its toughest years, the world saw that the island's heartbeat remained strong and united. When the storm clouds finally cleared, what remained wasn't just wreckage, it was reflection. Jamaica had seen disasters before, but something about this recovery felt different. This time, it wasn't international organizations dictating the pace or outside voices leading the conversation. It was Jamaicans themselves standing shoulder to shoulder. From school children helping clear debris from flooded classrooms to small shop owners giving away free bread and water, the nation came alive with a quiet sense of unity. The spirit of one love, a phrase often sung but rarely lived in its purest form, found new life in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Music became more than entertainment. It became medicine. Across radio stations, songs like Bob Marley's Redemption Song and Chronix's Here Comes Trouble played daily, reminding listeners that even in pain, there's purpose. Some DJs curated special playlists to uplift spirits, while local choirs performed in shelters to calm frightened children. It was music that held the country together when words failed. The involvement of stars like Bolt, Cartel, and Tyrese made this healing visible to the world. Bolt's viral video of children laughing and dancing in a shelter, barefoot but joyful, garnered over 20 million views in just 1 week. People across continents commented about Jamaica's indomitable joy, the kind that even storms couldn't wash away. That image became a symbol of resilience, showing that hope can live amid ruin. But as global attention slowly faded, the real test began, the rebuilding. And unlike before, when foreign contractors dominated post-disaster work, this time Jamaicans were leading every step. By December 2025, the island's recovery efforts had entered a new phase, one defined by collaboration rather than dependence. The Usain Bolt Foundation joined forces with Digicel and the Jamaican Red Cross to repair damaged schools and sports facilities in Trelawney. For Bolt, it wasn't just about giving money. It was about investing in the future of children who might one day stand where he once stood. If we rebuild their schools, we rebuild their dreams, he said during a site visit. At the same time, the Adidja Palmer Foundation launched a scholarship program for high school students whose families have been displaced by the storm. Cartel's representatives handed out new textbooks, uniforms, and small business grants to single mothers trying to restart after losing everything. What made it powerful wasn't just the aid, it was the fact that it came from one of the most polarizing yet influential figures in the country. It reminded people that good can emerge from unexpected places. Tyrese's humanitarian group, working alongside a local nonprofit called Waves of Hope, began funding solar-powered community centers designed to provide shelter, clean water, and charging stations in rural parishes. These projects weren't grand gestures for publicity. They were functional solutions to real problems. Families who had lost power for weeks could now cook, study, and stay connected. For years, Caribbean nations have struggled with slow international responses after natural disasters. Promises are made, funds are delayed, and rebuilding drags on for years. But this time, something shifted. Jamaicans realized they didn't have to wait for permission to help themselves. They could lead their own recovery, guided by their own strength and solidarity. That realization marked a turning point, a quiet revolution in how the island viewed resilience. Before Hurricane Melissa, few imagined that Jamaica's artists and athletes could drive national recovery. Relief had always been the work of governments and charities. But the hurricane changed that perception forever. It revealed that leadership can come from anywhere, from a runner, a singer, an actor, or a stranger who simply refuses to look away. Usain Bolt reminded the world that true greatness isn't just about medals, but about service. His hands-on approach showed that fame, when used with purpose, can move mountains. Vybz Kartel proved that influence doesn't depend on freedom, it depends on will. Even from behind bars, his voice carried the power to mobilize an entire movement of compassion. Tyrese showed that brotherhood knows no nationality. His willingness to travel thousands of miles to help a small island spoke volumes about humanity. Together, they turned tragedy into testimony, a living story of what it means to be part of something bigger than oneself. Their actions redefined what celebrity can mean in times of crisis. No stage PR photos, no empty slogans, just presence. Real people using real influence to heal real wounds. Months after the storm, communities that once lay in ruins began to transform. Farmers replanted crops, small businesses reopened, and schools that once sheltered refugees filled again with the sound of morning songs. It wasn't a return to normal, it was a rebirth. Every plank nailed, every roof rebuilt, every tree replanted became a quiet declaration: Jamaica will not be broken. The ripple effect of these efforts didn't stop at Jamaica's shores. Across the Caribbean, people began to ask new questions. What if every island had its own Bolt, its own cartel, its own Tyrese? What if influence, fame, and creativity were used not just for entertainment, but for empowerment? In Trinidad, local musicians started organizing benefit concerts for flood victims. In Barbados, athletes launched community cleanups. Across the diaspora, young Jamaicans saw that giving back was not just an act of kindness. It was a form of national duty. The story of Hurricane Melissa became a teaching moment. It showed that while governments may lead the policy side of recovery, it's the people who lead the heart of it. The celebrity response wasn't about who gave the most money. It was about who showed up when it mattered. It reminded Jamaicans, both at home and abroad, that unity is the island's greatest natural resource. Today, as reconstruction continues and new homes rise from the ashes of old ones, one truth remains crystal clear: fame fades, but humanity doesn't. The world may have seen a devastating hurricane, but Jamaicans saw something else: the rebirth of national pride. When Usain Bolt walked through muddy streets, he wasn't just delivering supplies, he was delivering hope. When Vybz Kartel's message echoed across radios, it wasn't just a soundbite, it was a spark of courage. When Tyrese arrived with his team, it wasn't just an act of charity, it was proof that love can travel any distance. Together, they became symbols of a nation refusing to kneel. Their legacy is not measured in donations or headlines, but in the thousands of lives touched, the communities rebuilt, and the children who will grow up knowing that even in disaster, Jamaica stands tall. And that's the power of people, the power to rise after every fall, to rebuild after every loss, to sing again after every storm. Jamaica didn't just survive Hurricane Melissa, it transformed it into a story of rebirth, resilience, and unity. So, as the cameras turn away and the news cycle moves on, remember this: when Jamaica cried, her people answered, not with words, but with action. From Trelawney to Clarendon, from Kingston to Negril, the island's pulse still beats strong. If stories like this inspire you, stories of courage, compassion, and community, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because in a world too often divided by storms, Jamaica reminds us that unity is the calm after the wind.